Good boy, good boy. Good Footy Energies. Yeah, good boy, good boy. Good Footy Energies.
I feel like I'm about to go live on TV.
Yeah, good boy, good boy. Good Footy Energies.
All right, welcome to the Good Footy Energies Podcast, the place where your order will be with you in a moment. Your driver just has one stop to make along the way. I'm your producer, Clarky DJ Jesus, and with me, as always, are the three initiates, Brad, Ruben, and Moats. Welcome to the Good Footy Energies Podcast.
Thank you for that beautiful intro.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Welcome. A little bit different.
I prefer it. I'm really into it.
On
That was
that.
amazing.
I don't mind if the driver has a stop on the way unless hot chips are in the order, in which case I fucking hate it.
I usually just go the 260 extra for the first up.
I do. I didn't want to flex. But yeah, I usually do that as well.
It's not even a flex. It's like it's hitting me hard
Yeah.
in the finances. But
I prefer to go pick up my food if I'm getting something
man,
takeaway
that's
because
crazy.
I don't
Let's-
believe in
let's not
someone
start that.
getting it for me. You know, I got legs, arms, a car.
Yeah, I was
brain,
going to say the car's probably more the...
Yeah.
and I'm not hungover. You know, so like get me there, A to B.
that's interesting. I feel like if I was dating a girl and she was really motivated to do that, I'd tag along. But
It's funny you mentioned that because my girlfriend Steph is the complete opposite. She loves to get Uber Eats, even though we don't like ever. But I'm like, dude, why don't I just go get it? She's like, nah, fuck that.
she tags along with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you could be my new
That's
my new
what
girlfriend.
life's about. Is
Tagging along. That's it. Words to seriously live by.
Doing things you don't like doing with people that you don't hate.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, perfect moment for a soundbite. We actually got to get flying because we got Jayden Hunt coming in over the Zoom
Whoa.
anytime he's popping in. So
I'm raring to go.
the big Jados.
That's it, dude. I was going to roll with that nickname. Can't believe you pinched it
Friend
off
of the
me.
pod. Let's get him on.
All right, welcome. We're joined by Melbourne Demons legend Jados Huntos.
G'day, lads.
What's going on? Beautiful. Mentioned off air. Very beautiful backdrop. The vibe.
American Christmas. I'm going with.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, hard.
Fairy lights, fireplace,
Yeah, bit of New York.
ceiling fan, sticking all the boxes.
Yeah, it's good vibes. We've got the chilled out fireplace and then contrast with that with the party lights. So bit of a rogue combo, but we'll go with it.
Was that? Do you own that house? Didn't you have a housewarming?
Don't own it, but we did have a housewarming and the fairy lights were put up for the housewarming.
Yep.
And then we just decided, geez, they look good. We've just kept them ever since.
I feel like once the fairy lights go up, they never come down.
You'd be a fool to take him down.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
So all is well.
And
I must say, your couches also look very good. The plants in the background. You got an old school light. A mega bloody box of Eclipse. That looks like the biggest thing I've ever seen.
yeah, I think
That's the
pretty
fun.
big.
That's the fun size.
The depth perception.
yeah.
Of the. They're pretty big.
Nah, come on. It's like they're like a box of favourites, basically.
Yeah.
They're off market. You can't find them here.
Jane, so
I've never seen.
we know you're feeling really cozy at home. How are you feeling on the field at the moment, mate? You've cemented your spot in the side this year, playing off half back. Is that where you think you play your best footy?
Yeah, so it's been good so far. I'm sort of playing a little bit deeper than normal, so I'm sort of locking down their sort of opposition's best sort of small medium forward. So it's been good, sort of having an individual battle each week. So quite enjoying it.
Who's been your adjective to use? Most
Difficult.
yeah, something a bit more
Hard.
gladiatorish, like
Roll with that.
Ruthless.
Ruthless is probably on the weekend. I played on Zerha, and
Wow.
he's a heavy bloke. Like I tackled him, and I'm still sore from it. So, in terms of ruthless, probably him. But I played on sort of Shy Bolton. He's a gun, so that was pretty tough. Sort of the Jack Higgins types, all those guys.
Yep.
Was Zerha a little bit lippy on the weekend? He did get a cup on the end of a couple. We'll call them cheap goals, Jayden. Was he lippy after he kicked those goals?
No, well, I was actually off him on all 3 goals. So
That's not a coincidence
not
at
a
all.
coincidence.
That is not a coincidence.
That's happened.
It was very frustrating actually because or sort of one time I was with him, but he got a hold of the ball on someone else, and then the other 2 goals were both when I was on the bench, and I was just filthy. But anyway. It happens.
Well, that's common. I mean, I've seen Jarm and Impey on Eddie Betts in a showdown, and Eddie Betts end up kicking 6. But me and Dad was watching closely, and he goes, "Jarm and Impey's off every time. Like he's not on Eddie all the time. But at the end of the day, you see 6 goals. You go, who was on Eddie? He's like, I'm pretty sure it was Impey." So
well, that's what happened. I played golf the next morning with a mate. He's like, "Oh, Zerha got the better of you." I'm like, It's very annoying, but anyway.
That's the lives and trials, the tribulations of a back pocket.
That's
That's
right.
it. Thankless task.
Yeah.
It is thankless.
It is thankless.
about
Jados, you've always reminded me very much when you play footy of a hunter. I feel, you're very reminiscent of a lion kind of chasing a gazelle. Do you feel like it's almost subconscious how you play because of your last name being Hunt?
Possibly. I do have a painting of a lion on the top of my bed. So
Well,
you might be into something.
what another
Maybe
huge
subconsciously.
coincidence. I think I definitely am. There's more than something in that. There's everything in that.
Is that a recent
Yeah,
paint?
there might be a little bit of something.
A recent painting over your bed, or you've had it there since childhood?
No, Mum and Dad were over in Bali, I reckon 7 or 8 years ago, and I just moved out into a place, and I need some artwork. So I'm like, can you bring some Indonesian paintings over? And I gave them the run of the mill. They got to choose, and they chose the lion. So
Destiny. Destiny.
Absolute destiny.
I'm surprised, being that they were Indo-style paintings, they didn't go with the elephant. I feel like the elephant would have been, it would have been numero uno.
I did think that. The other one was a wave more Indonesian than the lion, but the lion did make my way to the bedroom. So there you go.
There you go. Have you been surfing recently, Jayden?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Like to get out a little bit. Pretty cold at the moment, but still nice.
Yeah. What was that? I remember ages ago we were saying off air. There was some story or something where you were out in the surf and there was a lightning bolt hit the water, and you said it was quite a spiritual moment. Could you share with that? That's always stuck with me. Obviously.
Yeah, you wouldn't forget that.
I think the listeners.
That was years ago. I remember I was out by myself and was pushing it a bit in the thunderstorm. And there was a thunderstorm, I guess, a bit of lightning about, and I ended up. I think it was the same day. This is a very long time ago. I don't know the details that well, even though it's my story. I'm pretty sure I was pushing it so far into the dark that then I always hide my key in the bushes, because everyone knows that surfers put their key behind the tire or anything like that. But I just find a plant or something to put it under. It's they're not thinking of that, are they? But
No way.
I pushed it so far in the dark that I couldn't find my keys, and I spent a couple of hours looking for my keys and finally got out of there. But I'm pretty sure that was a thunderstorm night.
So any of the listeners out there, make sure you follow Jados next time he goes surfing if you want to pinch his car. He'll be putting them in the bushes.
Get a car.
The most interesting looking plant.
Yeah, well, Brad sort of framed that as a spiritual moment. I'm sort of framing that as a St. Anthony
Exactly.
missing something. What was
St.
it was the lightning that you painted to me, Brad?
Well, I think from memory you said from that moment on it changed you, and there was a shift in your energy or something.
He always went home from surfing that little bit earlier.
like you were. It was subtle, but it was there.
Completely changing pace of this interview, Jayden. What song would you like to play after you kick a goal at the MCG? What song would you like to play over speaker?
Or being subbed in as you're about to say you're the sub.
Alternatively, you are for whatever reason, the Medi sub. Someone goes down and you come in to replace them. The stadium announcer says, and now welcoming onto the field, Jayden Hunt, and your song blares out through the speakers of the MCG. What song do you want that to be?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Maybe You Get What You Give by the New Radicals.
Oh, that's a huge
Oi,
track.
all right.
That's a huge track.
Yeah.
I can endorse that.
I remember we've been training out because of COVID out in Cranbourne, like an hour away from the city and stuff. And so some of the mornings very early, I'm not the best morning person. So I play my random playlist and whatever, but there's this traffic light that's 2 minutes away from the club. And so I always play that song just to get me a little bit up and about.
Oh,
That's huge.
Fucking oath. I love that. I love the fact that it's a destination too. You know, when you hit that traffic light, it's like, I got 2 minutes, baby.
Yeah.
You know, I need to get in the zone.
Sounds like, I think there's
Yeah.
definitely something in that.
Absolutely.
Ah, yeah, nice. 5 minute song, but
Yeah, maybe don't play the full thing.
That was elite. That was so good. Snake, got any more questions for the great man?
Brad had 8 questions about the lightning bolt hitting the water, and they're now all obsolete.
Put all the chips on the lightning bolt.
And I have a few more. I was thinking.
Going all in on the lightning bolt. Sorry to let down.
Okay, yeah. One of my usual questions, Jayden. Who in the Melbourne locker room? Who is the kindest bloke? Who's the most likely to help you with a flat tire? Come around and cook your dinner when you're sick. Who's the kindest teammate that you have?
Maybe Adam Tomlinson. Very nice guy. I know when I play golf with him, if I get it close to the hole, he's just like, pick it up, you've got that.
The sort of mate everyone needs on the golf
Wow.
course. That's really nice.
Rather than require me to finish off my work, he just knows. So, yeah, he's a very kind fella.
Incredible.
That's beautiful. What's your handicap at the moment?
Back down to 2 at the moment.
Shit.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Very
Lowe's good in
Yeah,
golf.
Lowe's good.
yeah.
Nah, that's yeah. Yeah, I remember a few years ago you were saying Goody, like a really different to the sort of the old school coaches, like sort of just like, I guess your mate or whatever.
He's on that new wave mentality.
Yeah, how has that been evolving over the last couple of years?
Yeah, really good. It just works on a sort of respect basis. If you get on with him, he doesn't sort of treat you like he's your boss, I guess. You're always going to perform better for him, sort of thing. So, yeah, he's really good, and he's always interested in what we're doing off the field as well. So I think that's really important. And it's sort of, I think it's one of the reasons we've been going so well this sort of last 18 months is everyone's a lot closer off field and things like that. So, yeah, there's not as much sort of you don't feel like you're walking on eggshells when you enter the club. Everyone's up for a laugh at the right time and things like that. So that's been real good.
That's cool. It just feels like good, like resonates, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or it's almost similar to that question I asked you earlier, Jados, about you being like a hunter in my eyes, having the last name Hunt. Do you reckon Goody is a good coach because he has the word good in his last name?
Good win. You didn't even pick that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Not
that's
good.
I remember when we weren't winning too many games, the D supporters would always use that one, when we won, it would be like, good win.
Oh, I didn't.
That's sharp. That's really sharp.
You know, I never thought about that.
And then when we lose, everyone was like, bad loss, because it's the complete opposite.
That's what you need. You need an assistant coach called Jeremy Badloss. That's what you need.
Yeah.
So every time you win, you put it on Goody, and every time you lose, you put it on Lossy.
Well, it sounds like he has like a genuine, like the relationship with the players is like genuine rather than maybe being a little bit forced, going around to the players being,
They tap on the shoulder.
couple questions
Yeah.
like, how's your fishing on the weekend? But it sounds like it's a bit more actual.
Yeah, there's a genuine respect there.
Yeah, he's interested.
Just with your teammates, Jayden, who haven't we seen much of yet who you think is going to be a really, really special player? Is there anyone that hasn't played a game yet or has played a handful of games that you think is going to go on and be a real star?
Yeah, there's quite a lot. Even in the backline, some of the younger guys are really putting pressure on us. People like Judd McVee, Daniel Turner, Deacon Smith, those sort of guys. A lot of people probably haven't heard of, but they've been going really well. So I think a lot of the guys are in really good form in the VFL, and I don't think they've lost a game either. So, there are a lot of up-and-comers, which will be good.
Jados, you're obviously renowned for the headband, for the bandana even. You got anything up your sleeve for this season? Maybe whipping out a couple special ones, or you're sticking to the classic, to the blue and red?
Yeah, I might. There's sometimes like charity sort of games, like the Pink Lady games, and sort of like the blue game for prostate cancer, or like the MND game. So yeah, I remember I did that for a year, and I used to auction them off for the charity. So I might try get a Queen's Birthday MND one sorted, maybe.
That would be unreal. What you should get is you should get a headband with the Queen Mary all over it, right? All right. Queen Elizabeth, actually.
Mary.
Yeah, Queen Mary. That's
the ship. The ship.
That's the Queen Mary is the
Just making sure you know that the Queen's birthday holiday is for Queen Elizabeth, not the cruise liner, the Queen Mary.
No, what's the Brad on the river? What goes past? Is it
Unforgettables?
What's that called again?
The Murray Princess.
The Murray Princess. Yeah, we need a Murray Princess round headband. Anyway. Let me just
Well, Jados,
let me just beep, retract real quick.
It was Hamish McLaughlin, because I've said this advice. I'm passing on this advice, but I'm pretty sure I got popped to you. Is McLaughlin was like, wear your headbands, auction them off for charity, get some, and then you know by the end of the season you've given X amount to charity or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wasn't that his advice?
Yeah, it was. I remember he said that. Sort of like there's all these opportunities to give back. It's amazing, sort of. Yeah, what you wear and things people pay for. So if you can sort of raise money for all sorts of things, why not?
What I was leading to my question before Jados was, would you feel inclined to potentially raise money for the Good Footy Energies podcast with one of your headbands? That'd be huge.
We could buy one at auction.
Yeah, we could.
Or could we buy headband space? Could we be advertising on the headband?
Wow.
Now
That's what we call a workshop.
Dude, I've already got it. We'll call it Lightning Bolt. And like it'll just have a gajillion of them.
you definitely, you wouldn't be allowed to put words on there, would you, Jayden? Like,
Well, yeah, I've like already changed this rule because
literally.
and if I go again, I don't know if they're going to like me too much. But originally, I was sent in the mail these sort of ones I wear now, like the D's colours ones, the blue and red ones. And I was wearing them in training. I remember a reporter asked me like, "Oh, are you going to wear it in a game?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I'm not allowed to," because at the time it was only thin black ones were allowed.
Yep.
And then anyway, like the next day in the paper, front cover of like the sports section was like Jayden Hunt fighting the AFL over headband ban. And anyway, like I didn't like, obviously it would have been nice to wear in a game, but I wasn't sort of fighting tooth and nail. And then that week was the Anzac Eve game and I rocked up. And the club manager was just like, "Do you have any headbands in your car? Because they've changed the rule. You can wear it." So I ended up wearing it, and then I was getting all these messages saying, "Oh, you're a spoiled brat," like concentrate and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was actually my perception at the time, is that you were not that you're a spoiled brat, but that you really fought to have this headband. And I thought, why does he care that much? So I'm really glad you cleared that up, because that makes a lot more sense.
Just so casual. Yeah, because Moats thought that Moats has heard stories. Moats heard stories like, the lightning bolt came in the ocean, bang. Jayden's just like this full on focused guy. He just knows what he wants. He's come out on a mission. Yeah. But really, he's just a laid back, I mean, sure.
He's looking for his keys for 2 hours.
He's sitting back and just letting things happen.
I mean, sure, the lightning bolt is short. It's an important part of his history, and no one will ever deny that.
Especially not Brad.
No, but that's a part of his foundation as a hunter-gatherer. So I just had that written down. But
he's gone back to the lightning bolt.
I remember ages ago, for your mum's birthdays, you were doing all those. Is it your mum's birthday? You're doing those tasks, or like you just write random?
Yeah, we always jazzed up mum's birthday a bit.
Is that still happening?
Yeah, that still happens. Me and my sister always have to think of an idea. We made like a mini golf course in mum's house. So we're like going up like the roofs and things like that.
Whoa.
And the whole family had to dress up like mum dresses up in golf. So yeah, that was our latest one.
How does mum dress up for golf?
Oh, just the classic dresses. Very fluorescent mum. She's a flamboyant character.
Yep.
We've got a photo here of you, Jayden, in a brown fleece.
Yeah,
is it?
brown fleece, I'd say.
Yeah, on your Instagram, I urge the listeners to go check that out.
Looks like a pair of Adidas Sambas as well. Very niche.
That's just on the run sheet.
Was that like the brown fluffy one?
Yeah.
Looks sick.
I was so close to putting that on just before. Oh! And
Ooh.
I decided against it because the fire was heating me up too much.
I thought you were going to say, I actually thought you were going to say I was very close to auctioning that off,
Yeah.
which we would have bought it, 100%.
Absolutely. We would hang it in the studio.
We would.
Which I remember there was a time, Jayden.
I'll never say never. It's still up in my wardrobe. So if the price is right.
Mate, we'd love a headband for the studio.
Yeah, but one of those black thin ones. Anyway, Snake, you got a
I
question?
have one.
Of course you do. It's very Shevchenko, you know.
Sure.
Very AC Milan.
Yeah, I remember a few years back you were doing like heaps of like TV stuff. Like you're on that, what's that, Sean McCarlett?
Mad as hell, is it?
I don't think it was that
Talking
show.
about your generation.
Talking about your generation.
Oh, great show.
You were you're all over the bloody
Media Street.
media street, like Hollywood. Have you been doing? You haven't been doing as much of that lately. Is that sort of relaxed, or what's your story?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's been a more conscious decision to sort of get my way out of the limelight. I guess. I just I sort of did quite a bit of traveling, like after seasons and stuff, and just liked not being recognised anymore and things like that. And yeah, I don't know. I just, I was pretty into it, but yeah, sort of made a conscious decision to chill it out a bit, which has been nice. I still don't mind it, like if people ask me to do stuff, but yeah, I'm not outward, I guess, looking for it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Was that to focus on your footy more, or just?
No, I was like surfing one day and this lightning bolt hit me. And I just decided to chill out a bit.
Take that.
Life-changing moment. That sounds like a real metamorphosis you had out there on the water.
Trying to find those keys.
Any mantras for this season going forward, or what, is there like a club team sort of mantra for the year, or personal one, or?
No, sort of maybe for me because I sort of get a player most weeks to sort of concentrate on. I sort of I don't know. I guess I'm treating it like a boxing game every week, and sort of it's either a win or a loss against that opponent. So
Yep.
Do you find?
While it's not.
Do you find that sort of freeing in a way that you really just need to focus on like that role of just beating that player? If you can get some of your own ball on the end of that, that's a bit of a bonus. But is that sort of locking down on that one task? Does that sort of free you to sort of play your own game when you run off them?
Kane Collins.
Yeah, for sure. It makes it very simple. Not simple, but like very clear and sort of easy to concentrate and things like that. And like you pretty much nailed it. I'm not sort of maybe in previous years I was always trying to find the ball and they wanted me to run off as whenever I can. But now it's just like defend your man and then whatever happens, sort of if you're involved in offense, great. Like use your speed and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it. While the stats aren't sort of as attractive or anything, don't get as much as the ball. I sort of like going off the field knowing I was sort of kept one of their most important players quiet. So yeah, I'm loving it.
That makes when you do go for a run, that's almost more pure in that way, because it's like you've eaten your dinner, the kids are in bed, and now you can watch.
Have a little bowl of cookies and cream ice cream.
That's right.
Chuck on some Family Guy.
That's right.
Don't worry, we'll cut this up.
We're going to need to cut this up.
We'll cut this up easy, and we'll really build up the. We'll do an intro like with like thunder sounds and like this really like big
Thunderstruck.
thing. I'll like talk it up and be like, all right, guys, we're gonna talk to Jayden. try and feel. If you take a
Yeah,
moment, if you
yeah.
need, take a
I
second.
think we should all take a moment.
yeah, and just try to feel.
Just maybe 3 or 4 slow sentences.
Yeah,
of
like-
what the seas were like, and you might actually trigger that memory and prove me right. 'Cause-
Well, so about the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
you could-
just
yeah.
as if
moment.
you're narrating.
back to that
yeah, go
moment.
back to that moment. Close our eyes. We'll close our eyes and almost narrate
Close your eyes.
that moment for
Gotta
us.
close.
Even if
Gotta
it
close.
doesn't make it.
So I was surfing in the ocean. It was getting dark. It was a moody sort of night. And then this thunderbolt shocked the ocean 200 meters away. I came in and couldn't find my keys.
Perfect. Yes! I think you really captured the essence of the story there. That was great.
That was in real time as well. Unreal.
Thanks, Jayden.
Dude, round of applause,
Hey, mate.
ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks so much for coming on, mate. We really appreciate your time. We know
love it.
you've got a busy schedule in the middle of a very successful season so far. So thank you, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the season.
No worries at all, guys. Enjoy.
Thank you. Blessings.
Cheers, man.
Blessings.
Appreciate it.
See you later.
Catch you, mate.
Hi, this is Brad. I can't get to the phone right now. You know what to do.
Bradley, this is Uncle Glenn. I haven't heard from you for some time, so I'm just giving you a quick call to see how it's going finding the tips. I've been watching every game, every week, very nervous. I don't know who I've tipped, so I don't know who to be nervous for. I just keep hoping that I didn't tip more than 15 or so draws. I don't think I did, but I can't be sure. So please do get your hands on those tips as soon as possible. Godspeed, Bradley. Godspeed.
And now it's time for Uncle Glenn's Footy Tips.
All right. Wait for the music to finish. Okay, very special edition of Uncle Glenn's Footy Tips. Those following along, of course, we are in we're searching, we're trying to get the permission of the 12 or the other 11 tipsters in the competition so that we can open up the safe to get the spare copy of my Uncle Glenn's Footy Tips so that we can finally get back on with the season and, follow along with his tipping competition.
tipping.
It's been a long and complicated process.
It has been, but we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So basically, there's one man left that we need to get the permission of, and we have been warned this guy is maybe...
He's a stickler.
He might play a bit of a hardball.
He's dug his heels in.
He's a bit of an older gentleman by the name of Darcy. We've actually got him on the line now. Darcy, are you there, mate?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, how you going, Darcy? It's Brad here from
okay.
the Good Footy Energies podcast, calling on the behalf of my
Sorry,
uncle.
what? Sorry.
I'm calling on the behalf
Bradley.
of my uncle Glenn. I think you've been filled in over email.
So you're Glenn's nephew, eh? He's a good man. He used to come over and he'd feed my hermit crabs while I was out of town. I trust him with my life.
How the fuck are we going to do this? Oh my god! So, Darcy, I'm assuming you take this footy tipping competition quite seriously.
Absolutely. I was the original gatekeeper. Before the Brotherhood decided to campaign for a professional, I called all the shots.
Oh, wow, you were running the show.
Crazy.
What was that like?
I was the fearless leader. Look, I'm not the best tipper. I was usually came down the bottom. In fact, I remember one unfortunate tip I made back in 2003 grand final. Long story short, Collingwood wasn't the only thing that lost that day. There was also my firstborn's entire life inheritance. We played for blood back then. So anyway, back to my story. So that's when we decided we needed a professional, a suit and briefcase, as it were.
Yeah, so apparently there's a... Yeah, well, it sounds like you take it very seriously.
Oh my God.
Yep, go.
Yeah, that sounds like you take it very seriously. Well, yeah. Apparently, there's been like a lot of scandals in the comp. That's why you need to bring in a professional gatekeeper as well. What kind of things were happening? If you can let us in on that.
Yes. It was either a professional or a resort to wiretapping because back then, we found out that if we wiretapped, then we'd become liable. But anyway, to answer your question, back when I was running the comp, I had everything on Excel files and I could email through the results week to week. So everyone knew exactly where they stood. You see? So now we're all ended up. So anyway, I started to notice back then, this was odd 38 years ago, but I started to notice that some suspicious activity, particularly when the members would come around to watch the games over a few pints of lager. And during the commercial breaks, during the games, during the matches, some of them would covertly sneak off to the computer room, which was in a den at the time. And they'd add their own formulas to my spreadsheets. So anyway, I had a lot of spreadsheets, and they were adding more tips to their overall tally, which is a very it didn't have much integrity back then.
Yeah, it sounds like you've seen a lot there, Das. Well, you probably did have to bring in a gatekeeper by the sounds.
Would be necessary.
Back in the computer room.
Well, yes, it kept us all in line.
So
there's no better formula than tipping integrity. Successful tipping comp is one that's built on trust. You have to trust your fellow tipster.
Yep. Well, I think my uncle Glenn as well sort of instilled that to me as just as for my family, and I know he would be, he would think that us opening the safe on his behalf would be an integral choice. So what do we?
Don't get too cocky. What's this about opening the safe?
So yeah, we're looking to open the safe to get a spare copy of my Uncle Glenn's footy tips because he's only had the one copy. Obviously, didn't back it up as you've been through. It's you can't trust the wiretaps or the backup online stuff. So we come to you. We obviously you know about how you need the 12 different keys encryptions to open up the safe. To if anyone wants to check the hard copies. Is there? Yeah, we've got 11 of the keys, and we have the gatekeeper's permission. You're the final person on the list. Is there any way? How do we go about getting your permission? You're obviously a very wise man. You sound.
Thank you, Bradley. I appreciate the compliment. But look, if you boys want my blessings to take the key and open that safe in Dandenong, I need to know that I can trust you all.
Well, but you trust my Uncle Glenn though, don't you?
Yes. Look, there's no doubt about it. Your Uncle Glenn is a good bloke. He feeds my hermit crabs when I'm out of town, and for me, look, he's the kind of man that would give you the shirt off his back. But that doesn't prove that I can trust you. So what So where do we go from here?
What can we do to gain your trust? What can we do to prove to you that we are trustworthy enough to get that final key?
Well, I'm going overseas this weekend to meet up with a woman I've met online that I've been chatting with, and I need someone to feed my hermit crabs. If you can do that for me, that's what your Uncle Glenn did. And if you can prove that you can responsibly take care of a few hermit crabs, then you've got my key and you've got my blessings to open that safe.
That is amazing. We would love to do that. I think that's a task we can definitely do.
Thoroughly enjoy looking after your hermit crabs.
Yep, that's thanks so much for that opportunity to earn your trust. All right, Darcy, we'll get the details from you and we'll sort that out.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Look, you're a top bloke. Look, I'll send you an email with the details, and the key will be under the mat for you. Okay? How does that sound?
Beautiful.
Thanks, Darcy.
Perfect, Darcy.
Beautiful. Cheerio, fellas. Cheerio.
Cheerio, Darcy.
See you, Darcy.
What a
Outstanding,
beautiful man. That's very grateful.
Older gentleman, yeah, incredible. Really looking forward to looking after his hermit crabs as well.
We're so close, Uncle Glenn. If you can hear us, I can taste it.
I just want to make sure I know that I've done everything I could every day. And I think about the people out there who are depending on people like us. It's something that I think about. And it does make me feel like, we've got more work to do. But, we've got to get those listeners there, out there on the footy park, either out there on the field or out of the arena, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about it.
All right, we've got a tight schedule tonight, so let's get stuck into some footy talk.
Let's do it.
Footy talk with the boys.
Welcome to Coffee Talk.
That was mad.
So yeah, we've got the games up here in front of us of what the round happened last week.
Quick fire.
Carlton Sydney game of the round, possibly game of the year.
Yeah, that looked like a belter.
Yeah, that was cool.
Did you actually watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't.
I was watching it at the pub on Friday night with T-Mac. He was back in town.
That is.
We're actually sitting at the bar, like in the front bar, watching it on a TV. We're the only two watching, and then this guy was sort of just lingering around us. This guy with a cap. He was drinking a glass of red. His name was Neil, and he was actually from Sydney. And he'd snuck out of. He was over visiting his in-laws with his wife, and they were going out for dinner with some friends of theirs. And he snuck out of the house and said, "Well, he didn't actually sneak out. He said, I'm leaving for the next 45 minutes until we have to go, and I'm going to be watching the Swans." And he was a diehard Swans supporter, and he kept saying every 5 minutes he would say something about we're talking footy. He'd say something footy wise, and he'd go, "Guys, I've got friends. I'm not weird, by the way. Like, I hope it's okay that I'm sitting here." The more he said it, the more I suspected he was in fact weird. But
Absolutely.
it was a lovely experience nonetheless.
The balance point, that the third or fourth time. Keeps bringing up the weird thing.
But yeah, shout outs to Neil. He's a great man. If you're listening, Neil,
He's coming on the podcast in 10 minutes.
How good be when he comes on? He's just talking footy. He's like, "I got friends, by the way." Like, he's like, I do other podcasts. I got other podcasts.
Yeah, I sent T-Mac a message because Cornelio, I think he had him on the bench.
I sent him a message too.
Yeah, he didn't reply though, but
No, he said he got him back into the team at the last minute.
Wow.
36 touches.
Because I was checking Cornelio, and I reckon he was on like 20 or something in the second quarter or something, and then all of a sudden third quarter it comes to the end of the third. I check it, he's on like 100. Like, what happened in that quarter and a bit?
Crazy.
Just
if you're looking,
he was playing on the ball. He was playing on the ball.
That explains it.
Obviously, Mark McVeigh coming in. I got something to talk about Mark McVeigh. We're jumping all over the place here, but that's all right. Apparently, I got an email from Ollie Williams. If you want to turn to page. Actually, it's not.
It's amazing the differing levels of professionalism.
So we've got
from week to week.
Week to week, yeah. I had a real. I was like up at like 4 a.m. last night, just building up these run sheets. Not really, but got an email here, which I wanted to go through some emails at some point.
We should do them right now.
Will that be right now?
I think you are right now.
Right now seems right.
Brad's home printer is currently out of magenta ink. We are looking at a
All
black
on
and
the,
white print.
on
if
the
you're
black and
listening.
white print. 6 pages back to back, so 3 pages. Can you play some email music, please?
You got mail. You got mail.
So this one I was skimmed through a little bit, but he said the subject: Mark McVeigh, clubman. Hello, Bradley. Very proud of you. That's and you know
Strong start. That's a nice
great start. That start. I was in a weak moment,
Yeah.
and
You were vulnerable.
You
were vulnerable.
The rest of the contents of the email are irrelevant once you read something that
I
nice.
blurred out. I put it down, and I just went. It looked. It was a good moment, and needed that kick up. So thanks for that. I'm just kidding.
Cheers for the kick up.
I'd like to bring your attention how Mark McVeigh, new Giants coach, is
Connected to local footy.
Yeah, the Pennant Hills Demons in Sydney, the club Mark played for when he was younger. Something you may not know is that he comes down every second Thursday to help out with training. He's been doing that before he was Giants, and he's still continuing.
Wow.
Even now he's the main man. Another interesting parallel is that the first week as becoming a head boy, a fellow Pennant Hills player in James Peatling had 23 and kicked not only his first but 3 goals. And he was also from that club. And he played for GWS on the weekend. Right. Then he just mentioned something about all the while the didgeridoo played and connected them both spiritually. Ancient civilization vibes, ? Who's to say? Thank you, Bradman. I don't mind the Bradman.
Strong finish as well.
Absolutely.
He started strong and he finished strong. And I didn't mind he was in the middle either.
And I was feeling a connection to the ancient civilizations.
Yeah, but
I have to say.
But who's to say? Who is to say?
Who is to say?
I don't mind that. I was thinking that as well. Like, that should be our new, not catchphrase, but like, dude, that's so ancient civilization.
Dude, that is so AC.
Yeah, I was trying to think all day. I was trying to think what that was from, and then I asked my subconscious.
What do you mean? Oh, sorry.
I was just in the kitchen because it reminded me of something from like a TV show.
Yeah, that's so Tommy. That's such a Tommy move.
I was trying to. That's so Tommy. Yeah, that's close. So I asked my subconscious to try and fetch that memory and get back to me and just pop it in my mind when it's done. Kept coming back, almost had it, and then the only one thing I thought of was that's so Rainbow Rhythms, or that's not.
That's not very Rainbow Rhythms.
Yeah, that was kind. There may be something else in the ether out there, but that was close enough for mine.
Well, you know what? Now that you've got the two, you've got Rainbow Rhythms, you got Tommy.
Such a Tommy move.
Yes, they're gonna combine.
Yep. That's such an ancient civilization's move by you.
That is so AC. So AC of me.
So thank you, Ollie Williams. Got a few more emails to get through here.
Cheers, Ollie.
One from Jake Munn.
Martos.
Jackson Haitley connecting with Adelaide Oval. Hello, Brad, Ruben and Moats.
Just first off, it's nice to be acknowledged in an email.
I was feeling sad.
No mention of Jesus,
No
though. No mention of Jesus.
I feel seen.
I introed the pod and everything, but anyway.
Yeah. He spelled Ruben with UE, not EU.
Oh, dude, this guy's bad.
Clarky has that problem sometimes.
Sometimes, every
it's
week.
EU! It's EU! No.
And I'm always very confident about the spelling.
Yeah, every time.
I get it wrong every time, but I'm always confident.
That's all I ask of you, Jesus.
One time he spelt Moats.
Yeah, Moats.
I like that.
I didn't mind that.
Moats.
Didn't mind that.
Moats and holes.
Hello,
It's a made up word, so there's no spelling.
That is true.
You know, I just want to take a moment for the listeners and viewers. I don't want to give the impression that we're rushing. I just felt like it was in a bit of a rush for the last.
I felt like we were flowing pretty well.
Maybe. What do you think? Because I think
sort of in between.
I think 2 times I said we've got to get some emails to get through.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to. Let's just take a moment. It's all good. We got time, baby.
That's it, dude.
I feel like we were flowing pretty well.
Hello, Brad. No, that was.
I like that accent.
Hi, Brad, Ruben, and Moz. I was just messaging my dear friend Jackson Hartley and telling him how he was mentioned on the pod.
Is this like a German accent?
Yeah, where's it coming from?
It's a little bit
Costa Rica?
a little bit Hungarian even. You know
Both
what I mean.
massive fans of yours, especially the old school vids like the shoe safe.
That's a real fan.
Just on that real quick, there's nothing better when someone's like massive fan, especially the old stuff you used to do.
Yeah.
Not so much the new stuff.
All right, so him and Jackson Hanley, he was telling him how he was mentioned on the pod. He then informed me that on the Saturday against the Lions, which is the last week, that he walked out to Adelaide Oval barefoot so that he could connect with Adelaide Oval. And then he had the best game of his career, which we did mention. They were playing him as the inside mid.
Yeah. Once again, not to sort of, I feel like I often am negative on the spiritual connection stuff. But yeah, I also feel like them playing him in his position and allowing him to do what he's good at was also crucial in him having the best game of his career.
Very true.
It all goes together.
That's exactly right.
It's
The grounding equally as important.
Yeah.
I actually did up. Well, I didn't. I think I posted that. There was someone sent me a photo of him in the barefoot, just zoomed in at that game, and I posted somewhere.
Just on that real quick, I remember Brad and I used to go to the pub barefoot back in the day. You remember that?
Actually, I got one more email, but I got a bit of a.
Oh, I thought that was all a part of it.
It was.
Okay.
But Jason, you sent us a voice message for that.
No way.
I don't know if it's going to be too long.
I'm loving this.
All right, so we have he emailed me. He has a voice message from Jason Yu, and some of our listeners will remember he remixed Clarkie's bootleg last year
The
for
little
us.
auto-tune number.
Yeah, the auto-tune. He did the rap for us. I think he was 360's merch tour.
Oh, yeah.
Tour
It was, yeah.
thing.
It was fat. It was so fat.
Something like that. So he's just sent us a voice message. We'll just check in with that now.
Double fat.
Good morning, Brad Hollis. It's Jason_UU here.
Cool.
A couple of delightful updates. Firstly, at the end of the finals rap that I DJ Jesus bootlegged for you last year, I called for a Carlton premiership. I think the good energy of that track, the Never Forget, Shane Biggs' energy pulsating through, has put us forward into this new year. Never forget. Secondly, I had a child born recently.
Wow.
Since then, Port Adelaide are 4-1, Carlton are 4-1. The mother is a strong Port Adelaide supporter, myself, strong Carlton supporter. We joked when we found out we were pregnant, long before the 2022 fixture was released, that Carlton and Port would play at the time that our child would be born. A couple of days after Carlton and Port Adelaide played, our son was born.
Wow.
Hence, so far, both teams have gone 4-1. He was also born on 4/20. So, by that measure, I believe that both Carlton and Port will lose this weekend. Unfortunately for yourself, myself, and my partner. Also, that Carlton and Port Adelaide game did genuinely cause a friend of mine to go into labour. She's a Carlton supporter. She was very heavily pregnant around the same time as us.
Soul connection.
And the closeness of that game sent her into labour, and she had a baby boy named Bob several 3 or 4 hours later.
I like that.
Finally,
Random name.
I am working on a bi-season bootleg, a bi-round bootleg, and I would love to know, anonymously via the pod, what is the highest energy part of Adelaide Oval. The playing service is exempt because that is where the bowl, the funnel, the stadium funnels into the playing surface. But which stand, which rooms, is it the change rooms, is it the members' rooms, is it a function room, is it the hill? What is the strongest energy part of Adelaide Oval? Because that is where I'll record vocals for the DJ Jesus bootleg, bi-season bootleg.
Wow.
Anyway,
Fuck yeah.
I've just finished work. Thank you for your time.
First thing, my sister works at Adelaide Oval. I'm going to have to alert her to some security concerns. Because Jason_UU is... It sounds like you can't record during a game. He's going there when he's not supposed to be there to do this. And I really rate that.
Yeah, how's
Definitely
it?
record.
And it's got to be the hill, doesn't it?
Well, I feel like if there was one place you don't want to be, it's on the eastern stands, where the Wanganeen, the Rashudo, the Max Bashir, like that side is just, there's nothing acoustically going on. And I just feel like it brings the worst kind of supporters as well.
Stadium
If any,
Club?
come again?
Got a stadium club there.
There used to be the Chapel stands there.
Yeah.
And Ian Chapel is really bad energy for me.
Yeah.
Really negative.
But I don't mind both of the brothers there, though.
Yeah, brother energy does cancel that out.
If you got both the brothers, it's like, all right, whatever you think of Ian, but that's a set, mate.
That's true.
We need the Gowan stands.
Yeah, we do need the Gowan
Wow,
stands.
I would. Yeah, is
They
there
would,
a Gowan?
they would have that at the Ponderosa.
Oh
Is
yeah.
there a Gowan, maybe like a little bathroom?
That's a
Goal.
good shout.
Imagine the Gowan's like, come here, bud.
Yeah, can we get a bathroom?
Just a urinal.
Yeah. Well, it'd be good for well, maybe not good vibes, but good for the acoustics and recording the rap in the old reverb.
Oh.
What about inside the scoreboard?
Oh.
I've been in there. Very cool.
Well,
Very
that's
cool.
funny you mentioned that because there's actually a great story of one of our good friends, Sam Shotput Wilson, his brother Tommy Wilson. Do you remember that showdown when him and Bowlesy, I think we're in the
scoreboard.
They were in
yeah.
the scoreboard. They were in the scoreboard. And actually elite to get footage of them in the scoreboard. I'm sure they've got it somewhere
Get that on the vid.
on a telephonic device.
What the scoreboard attendants say?
Nothing. I think they were just fucking around. They were hanging out, changing the score. They were doing the job, but I think they were also having a good
They
time.
were making
doing
the
it.
stops.
Kept
They
on
kept
ringing
ringing the bell. They kept kicking up.
man.
The umpire's doing the same.
Three Musketeers. I think that western side, that middle, that members area where all the real movers and shakers are, that's where the sound is.
Western End.
Western End. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I think bang in the middle,
Yep.
Go in the
You know
centre.
that the Sir Donald Bradman stand, I think they call it now.
Yeah, of course. Rest in peace.
That or the
What is
the
that?
roof.
You like that?
The roof climb gift shop.
Oh, yeah.
I also like
Top of the roof climb.
Top of the it won't be windy.
All right, thanks for that, Jason. We hope. Yeah,
I'm going
actually,
to need to get a beat to him.
I just think that was a bit somber, Brad. I think more
Yeah,
of a,
Brad, I think your energy's been. We need to get you.
I was like 10% through what I was going to say then.
sounds like you thanked him. Like,
all right, that's been Jason Yu, and you're listening to the Good Fat Player. We might have a rap theme thing coming up soon anyway, so that'd be good to maybe get.
time.
It's all about collabs in the rap
Big
game.
time.
So we'll just tease that.
They got my man Bodybag Moten over here. No one spits hotter than him.
BB Motes.
BB Motes.
Cool. Let's get back into some footy talk.
Welcome to Coffee Talk. Welcome to Coffee Talk.
Can you give a bit of music under me? I want to get excited.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
That's what I needed, dude. Bit of a nutcracker.
Is this going to be on the recording?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to go through a list of things we've written down here.
Yep.
Charlie Curnow.
Yep.
I feel like he's grown into his body and he's like really ready to announce. And then I was thinking like, obviously Bailey Smith has the title of being like a pretty boy, the tanned and, Instagram famous, all that sort of thing. I'm like, are you Team Charlie? This is really hot or not.
Bailey Smith is miles ahead of Charlie Curnow.
I'm on Charlie Curnow, man.
Come on, dude. Bailey Smith's like the most
Charlie
gorgeous
Curnow isn't even the
human being.
best on his team.
Yeah.
Jack Silvani and bloody...
Your best player.
Even Stocksy. Get Stocksy head.
Charlie Curnow, he's like tall.
Nah, I'm with Motes there. Like, Stocksy, obviously, good friend of the pod. That guy's absolutely gorgeous. He's
Where's
a
your
Adonis.
loyalty, Brad?
Yeah. Anyway, that's a ba-bow. Me and Motes disagree.
You tuning in to a hot or not? Yeah, I was going to say, as I was writing that note, I was like...
Your next point, Matt Kennedy. I take Matt Kennedy over Charlie.
Such an unnecessary... What's your Jesus Christ? Anyway, there was a funny moment in the Carlton... if you go to the football as well, keep the music. Carlton played Sydney, and I just noticed in the first, second quarter, Matty Kennedy... Like the ball, he was playing half of forward flank. Yeah. He came up to get the ball and like got crunched by Errol Goulden, and then literally like 5-10 minutes later, the exact same thing happened. The exact same spot. He goes up again, bang! Like the second time.
What are you gonna learn, Dennis? What are you gonna learn?
It was just comical. It was like a movie, man. It's just like movies get done again. The same.
Yeah.
Like it was like in Wedding Crashers when. Jeremy's trying to throw the ball and Owen Wilson's busy trying to connect with the girl doing funny faces, and the guy Bradley Cooper is like
second time
just ramming him. Rammed right now. Speaking of ramming, right? Lockie Jones, there was a tweet on the desktop there, Jesus. This is a tweet from SEN, the one on the right.
Far right. Nice one, Jesus.
Someone sent this to me. Lockie Jones on his pre-game rev up. Oh. I watched Byron Pickett highlights, biggest hits on YouTube with Here Comes the Boom in the background before every game. I know the video. That mentality of being a hard nut, I think, is a huge to take away from it.
Yeah,
right?
I love that.
The only thing is, then I watched the game Port Geelong. He came out and he almost killed Joel Selwood. If Joel Selwood didn't slip at the right moment, his head's gone in his shoulder.
That's crazy.
You're gone for 7 weeks, mate.
Yeah, I don't think Byron Pickett would like I'm the biggest Byron Pickett fan of all time. I don't think he would have played as many games as he did if he played in this era.
No way.
Yeah, that's very risky because like I believe in the fact you're watching Pickett highlights will affect your mentality to go and bat Pickett, and he did a Pickett.
Also,
it's just
forget. Oh, so I was going to say, you're going to forget the fact that he was listening to it with "Here Comes the Boom."
Yeah, that's what I was going to touch on. It's actually impossible to find a Byron Pickett highlight video that doesn't have "Here Comes the Boom" in the background. So he's going to have to be more specific.
Ready or not?
There's also a good Jeremy Cameron Torp in that game. If you want to play that for the boys on YouTube, it's in the.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, far out. Professionalism, Brad.
I like the balance of music. Just maybe turn the YouTube up slightly.
Oh!
Wow!
Oh my God!
I'm loving this. Watching the footy
with the orchestral,
and the talking.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
I mean, for a video of a torpedo, that was perfect. Yeah.
Play the next one.
Yeah, why not?
Petrie's after the
this.
goal
I remember
siren.
this. I remember this.
The classical music still playing, by the way. Cool.
This is insane.
Wow.
How's the truck?
Takes a truckload to fill him up.
Wow.
Yes. Dude, how underrated was
we
Drew
could do this all
Petrie?
night. No, yeah, supremely underrated.
Just turn that
We
down
may get that
slightly.
music down.
Slightly. Yeah, that was cool. The thud of the ball, I could really hear it in the headphones then. I was like, I'd imagine being a commentator at the ground.
Yeah,
imagine
just
being the ball.
hearing that.
Imagine being the ball.
That's sweet.
Sweet.
So, other thing is, we were talking about Mark McVeigh earlier as taking over the coach of GWS and got the win.
They always do.
I think he was playing. He changed a few things up. We sort of briefly touched on with Cornelio going in the centre, and just doing a few things. But obviously, James Hird is the assistant coach, and there's been a bit of talk. You know, some people in the media going, "Oh, he doesn't deserve another one. Was he that good?" And I love how James is just really silently just going about his business.
Yep.
Just keeps working up the order. Leon Cameron goes down. He just keeps sliding
Slip
up
on
the
up.
order. Now he's assistant coach. And it reminds me, I did a video a while ago of James Hird, Golden Child. So you remember that game at school,
Absolutely.
Golden Child, where
Best game we
you're
played.
running around and you got to shoot the
Yeah.
other team shooting to try and stop you. Then obviously the Golden Child, which James Hird he'd always be the Golden Child at school. The Golden Child runs around on that last one and then like unlocks all the people who got stuck along the way. He's like bringing them home. That kind of, I feel like that's kind of what's happening now. He's just like silently running around, unlocking all the barriers that have been there for him. He's just coming back. Golden Child is coming round the corner.
What do you think he's unlocking on his way?
Gold. No.
Children. I think, he's going to go about it silently. After what he's been through, I don't think he would ever want to speak to the media ever again.
Absolutely not.
I'm sure we don't really have any serious views on whether he should coach. We'll leave that for the...
I think he'd be a massive asset no matter what role he's in.
Who's James Hird?
He's an unbelievably
Like a no-brainer.
clever man, great communicator,
Yeah.
amazing player.
Yeah, because Lingy did say something where like Michael Voss sort of did the same as James. It didn't work out the first time, but then he went and like apprentice for ages. Now he's come back, so maybe James, I feel like, might need a bit more years.
Definitely.
in the apprenticeship.
Yeah, I think like a senior assistant role would be awesome for him.
Yeah.
Like if GWS get an inexperienced coach in, have him as a senior assistant, it could work really well.
Yeah.
But then if I was there and let's say that's the plan. But then if he did kind of catch my eye at the corner of his eye as he grabbed the share and he just gave me a bit of a wing. I said, yeah, chuck him in.
Are you the little coach? Are you the puppet master, James?
I'm just hanging around. Moving on. Saw Max King kick like 6 goals straight from like 6 disposals.
Yeah. I actually saw that too.
That's
I reckon
cool.
when he kicked the 6th goal, I think he had 7 disposals and 6 goals. And he had like,
one handball.
Yeah. And like, I think maybe even like, 6 marks. And it was like, okay, so all he's done is mark and kick goals this entire game, which is all you ask.
All you ever want him to
All
do.
you ask. Like, yeah.
Well, I just love how 1 week kicks like 1 goal 7.
I
and then
know.
1 week kicks 6. Now he's like back up on the column. And
That's it. Next week he's going to be like 2 goals 8. No doubt.
That's cool. The Freo dropped off a little bit.
Doesn't surprise me whatsoever. More so
Just 2
because
losses.
yeah, exactly. Just 2 losses, and already everyone's like, "Oh, Freo's pretenders." Blah blah blah. It's like, well, it's a long effing season. I think everyone forgets that. But just quickly, I feel like them against Gold Coast, like no one's paying enough respect to Gold Coast, and Collingwood's been playing somewhat poorly as of recent last couple of weeks. So yeah, they're gonna make a note out of Freo.
Yeah, one thing completely unrelated to like the form of both sides was it was just refreshing to see some mud on the oval during that game.
Yeah, it was actually.
Like
mud.
I didn't really pay much attention to the game itself, but yeah, it was just really nice to see players sort of battling with the wet weather footy and just some mud on the ground.
We actually talked about Matty Carr last week. If you go to, there's a article next to that tab. And I did a TikTok with Matty Carr, and someone commented saying, you realise he was like pretty much like heaps blind for like the first part of his career. Like
that's crazy.
Like
No.
almost like, I'm not sure clearly
The
not
logistics?
blind enough to be able to play
Clearly.
AFL, but apparently
Clearly.
like he wouldn't be able to see what's going on down the other end. He'd look at the scoreboard. But I'm like, that's sort of fair enough. But like,
That's
apparently, because
crazy.
he had like a bit of both off, like short vision, long vision, and like someone said it was like he's only like 10% operating, like 10%.
This is reminiscent of Noah Bolter last year.
Yeah.
Triple M, BT.
Which clearly I was thinking about it, couldn't have been that bad if he's like at training and like he's clearly playing footy at a high level. But then he went and got the
LASIK.
the laser eye surgery at about 23 years old, or two, because last week we were watching a clip of him nailing it. That was post surgery. I'm pretty sure.
Of course it was.
This article, pretty much the laser surgery, pretty much like straight away. He's like, I can see fine. He's got 20/20 vision now.
It went from laser eye surgery just to lasering him into the 450.
Yeah, just laser.
Straight into the hands of a young
he's
Graham
like-
Polak.
Like, now happy learning how to see.
I'm just thinking, like, if he was like decent before that, imagine how much better he got when he
That
got.
makes me feel really shit about my natural ability.
Yeah.
If this guy can only see 10%.
It's all about heart. You don't need to see. You just get out
about
there.
eyes.
It's all about ticker.
You
Just
get out
on
there
the
and-
laser eye surgery, real quick. Who's that guy, that Australian dude? Like, and they play the ads, and they're from like the 90s.
Fred
and-
Hollows.
Thank you. That's all I want to know. Fred Hollows related to Brad Hollis.
Hong Kong vet.
That's about it. The only other thing I wanted to say was Todd Marshall for Port has been kicking really accurately for set shots. Like, I don't know what the stat is, but then, how you see that stat and then he gets a set shot from tight angle. All right, let's see what you're made of. Straight through the middle. It's like, whoa, this is weird.
Yeah. What's the feeling as a Port fan around Todd Marshall? Because I feel like he's fairly polarising. Like, Ken Hinkley obviously loves him, as do a lot of diehard Port supporters that I know. But there seems to be a foot in both hands.
Stigma.
Yeah, he's kind of pretty much what I just said. It's like only over the last month or so something's clicked. Like he needed to click. He'd have a good game here or there. Not that I watch every single week heaps, but he has a lot of potential. Has a good game here, but then maybe
Not
just
enough
mentally,
consistency.
just drops off a bit and like probably just a mental thing. You need him to grab him by the shirt and be like, dude, you need to be the fucking man. No mercy. And I think that's happened since Charlie was out. He maybe had a game where he had a really good game, then he had one off and Gary Lyman was ribbing him. So he put a photo of Gary Lyman on his wall and he said, I'm going out there.
I reckon
Pseudo psycho.
on the dartboard, mate.
JB, Todd Marshall looks up and says, stuff you guys. This is my ground.
Beautiful. My dad actually said he played in the ruck for a bit. Maybe that got him into it, Yeah,
Into the
It's
flow.
actually smart.
Into the
smart by man.
Then the last thing on the run sheet was we obviously got a new prime minister. You see all these politicians, they never really, every time they're playing cricket, because they always have to play cricket apparently, they never do a good bowl.
Barely.
And like even Eddie Maguire was on the Channel 9 footy show, they're like rubbing him because he like it wasn't good at bowling.
No
either,
good
apparently.
action.
I like imagine if there was a prime minister who just he's getting videoed for his cricket and he just comes in off a really long run up and just goes through the motions pace. It doesn't even have to bounce that well, but he's just like he bowls
like
some pace.
Thunderous Dizzy Gillespie action, like really high release point.
that'd
Just
be
something.
nice.
Jumping up, arms up.
Give
and
me
then
something.
bang.
And I'm like, do you realize
How important that is.
from a marketing point of view, especially if you weren't prime minister yet campaigning, Imagine the video, the meme. They want clout. They want clicks. They want that. Okay, he's going to have to train. Fair enough. I accept that they're not naturally gifted. You give him an hour a day, running in, doing that. Surely at the end of a 2 years place, he can get 10 seconds of footage steaming in. Boom. Do you know how many people are going to vote for you then? Oh,
everyone.
Who should I vote for? You know what? He's running up there. Boom! And that's footy talk.
Done.
Mate, you guys forgot about Johnny Howard bowling that spin that time. You remember that years ago?
Always go full wingspan shepherd. Just like a bird. I will keep you safe, my son. Care for you like a shepherd too.
All right. Thanks for joining us on another journey. Fun tonight. We took Jados off the top.
Dude.
Talked a bit of footy. Talked to our old Darcy.
Darcy. Good friend of the pod.
Hope his crab's out. All right. We'll just get stuck into this week's tweet. Yeah. Follow us on the socials and
following Brad at YEH Good Boy on Twitter.
On the Twitter.
I follow him. I like all his stuff.
No E.
He does. He likes most of my posts.
Yeah,
baby.
I see them all.
See them all like 75. No kidding. He even occasionally edits them.
That is true. Moses is known to be an editor. My boy Body Bag.
Clarky's hovering. He wants me to say, don't forget, if you could please, to all those fans. We appreciate the fans, appreciate the listeners. We love them.
Love the fans.
The clicks.
We need help. Need some help with the algorithm.
Yeah, if you could do something algorithmically, whether it's a comment, a share, maybe send it to your group chat. Maybe make a little sound bite, send it round.
Oh, that's a good
Fall asleep with the podcast playing on loop on YouTube.
That's actually smart.
At the very least.
You come to our house, you get my wife's name right.
At the very least.
Christina.
Well, speaking of coming over to people's houses, my tweet this week I have for you is...
Little twoosh.
Can't wait till I'm a dad and my son has a friend over so I can get them to help with jobs around the house.
It's always the best time.
What sort of jobs?
Just like... So I guess this kind of stems from... I think I must have had a friend over.
You definitely did.
And my dad... But more so from his dad when he had a friend. So my dad would have a friend over. This is back in the day. And then it's like his dad would wait to have a friend. Like, all right, we're moving this couch or we're moving this... We're doing some work because it's like he's using the boys as a labour. My dad's like, Dad, my friend.
Different jobs though. I feel like
over for a swim.
In our generation, it's like, Brad, get Rubes over here too. Let's move this couch. When your dad was a kid, it was like, oi, Mark, bring John as well. We're going to go kill that wild kangaroo out there.
Yep.
Totally different jobs.
Bad energy.
Totally different.
Yeah, wait a bit more. Yeah, it's getting softer and softer.
Oh, yeah. And think about us when we have kids. It'd be like, oi, come help me with this status that I'm trying to write.
Yeah, come help me film with the TikTok. You kids, your friend knows how to work the
phone.
The phone. If Nathan, he's got some TikTok.
Tell him to add me. Tell him to like my stuff on TikTok.
So yeah, I remember. This isn't really related, but I had a friend over, Jake Liston. Shout out.
Big shout out.
That'll probably get back to him. He was really young, and like upstairs we had a fireplace. And it was dark, and something was happening outside, and we were scared. And so the fireplace that had those like four little like rods. One of them was like to stoke the fire. That metal, they're like pretty weapon.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
hard.
We were watching that show, The Staircase, recently. It's definitely a weapon.
We took them out front and said, "Why?" Yeah, that was our weapons anyway.
Fuck, that's tough.
That is
tough.
And on that note, any final words?
Nah, dude. Just take it easy, keep it sleazy.
Yeah, and I'm out. Write that down.
Mic drop.
Peace.